For the first time in many weeks, Dolton trustees and Mayor Tiffany Henyard held a public meeting together, but not at Village Hall.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control.
Hold on tight, because Dolton, Illinois, is currently in the middle of a storm. And at the center of it all is none other than Mayor Tiffany Henyard. You won't believe the outrageous scene that unfolded during a recent village trustee meeting. Imagine this. A public official, strutting in a dazzling gold blazer, standing before the board and requesting a specific amount, $690. Yes, you read that correctly, $690. And how she went about it? Well, let's just say it was an absolute showstopper.
You are a clown. We will continue to speak out against wrongdoing.
Let's set the scene. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who's already stirring up controversy in Dolton, Illinois, walks into this meeting with one mission: to get her $690 back. But what's behind this odd request? That's the real question. One thing's certain, though. The way she went about it left the entire room talking. Always the showstopper, Tiffany entered the meeting wearing a flashy gold blazer. Seriously, who shows up in a gold blazer for a village meeting? If you didn't know better, you'd think she was heading to a glamorous event, not a town hall. But that blazer was just the start of the drama. Tiffany didn't start by discussing village finances or any grand vision for Dolton's future. Nope. She came out swinging, demanding $619 from trustee Tammy Brown. "I want my money back," she practically shouted, making it crystal clear that she wasn't leaving until it was settled. It felt like watching a heated argument over a restaurant bill, only this was in a government meeting. And it wasn't just the demand that turned heads. Tiffany came ready with receipts. Well, sort of. She claimed the $619 was meant to come from a fund set aside for trustee training. There's a $10,000 training budget, though no one's seen it, and Tiffany wanted her share. Her $619 was a drop in the bucket compared to what others were reportedly spending, and this quickly turned into an all-out confrontation. She wanted answers about why her money hadn't been handed over. "You're a clown," Tiffany shouted. "We'll keep speaking out against corruption. Why won't you step down?" But that wasn't all. Tiffany wasn't just focused on getting her money back. She was calling out the entire financial mess in Dolton. She accused the trustees of approving huge expenses for unnecessary items while vital services were being neglected. According to her, village employees had been sitting idle for months with no internet or email access. Yet, the trustees continued to sign off on hefty payments to an IT company. Tiffany wasn't having it. She pointed to an invoice from the trustee's attorney, an eye-popping $136,500, and compared it to her tiny $619. The numbers just didn't add up in her eyes, and it didn't stop with IT companies or legal fees. Tiffany also called out the village's spending on extravagant events. While essential services were being slashed, the trustees were hosting lavish parties and spending on unnecessary luxuries. One event in particular pushed Tiffany over the edge: the Valentine's Day celebration. She claimed it cost thousands in overtime pay for police officers who were taken off their regular duties to act as her personal security detail. "We can't afford this," Tiffany said, frustration evident in her voice. "And yet they're throwing parties while the rest of us are just trying to keep things running."
She's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
And speaking of the police, Tiffany wasn't finished with her critique just yet. She accused the trustees of using the police force to further their own personal agendas, directing officers to stalk and intimidate their political opponents. According to Tiffany, the former police chief even confessed that he was ordered to target specific individuals at the behest of the trustees, which she described as a blatant abuse of power. "This is not what the police are for," she said, shaking her head in disbelief. Their job is to protect and serve the community, not act as puppets for the trustees. But Tiffany wasn't just throwing accusations. She was laying down a clear plan to fix what she called the mess in Dolton. She revealed that she intended to bring in external auditors to meticulously review the village's finances and uncover any financial mismanagement. "We need transparency," she declared, vowing to hold everyone involved accountable once the truth about Dolton's financial issues was revealed. It was a bold promise, one that certainly sent shockwaves through her opposition.
She leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants...
And Tiffany wasn't done yet. She also accused the trustees of hiring her personal lawyer as the village's official attorney. Yes, you heard that correctly. She alleged that her own lawyer somehow ended up with the job, making the entire situation look even more dubious. It felt like something out of a soap opera, except instead of secret love affairs, we were talking about shady lawyer appointments. But let's get back to that $619. Tiffany wasn't letting that one slide. She kept repeating it over and over, $619. It was almost as if that number had become her personal mantra. The way she kept bringing it up, you'd think the whole village's financial future depended on it. "I want my money back," she demanded. "Give me my $619. And all the while, she stood there in that solid gold blazer like she owned the room.
All this point the finger to Tiffany or allow me, I'm over it. Now it's time for me.
At one point, Tiffany even went as far as making a motion to remove Tammy Brown from the warrant list, all because of that $619. It felt like a scene from a reality TV show where contestants are voted off the island. Only, this was real life, and the consequences were far more serious than just a game. Tiffany made it clear she was determined to get that money, and there was no backing down until she did. And it wasn't just Tiffany who had people buzzing. The residents of Dolton were chiming in too. One commenter perfectly captured the mood. "So let me get this straight. Employees sitting around on the clock with nothing to do is another reason they're cutting labor and sending people home?" It was a tough critique, but it underscored that Tiffany's accusations about the UDORB village's leadership were hitting home with some of the locals.
Special board meeting because business has not gotten done at 2 previous meetings, so that's some progress there, but this meeting was not without its fair share of.
One commenter pointed out the irony of Tiffany making such a big deal over $619, especially when there are rumors swirling that she spent nearly $500,000 on her mom's driveway. Maybe they should have told her to pay back that nearly $500,000 she supposedly spent on her mom's driveway, the comment read. Ouch. If that's true, it definitely casts her $619 demand in a different light. But let's not forget, this isn't Tiffany's first time under scrutiny. Her entire time as mayor has been marked by controversy, from accusations of misusing taxpayer dollars to reports of extravagant spending on parties and events. Tiffany's name has been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. And now, things are getting even more dramatic. There's talk that she's facing eviction from her home. Can you believe it? The mayor of Dolton, reportedly earning over $300,000 a year, is allegedly being evicted for not paying rent. Her landlord, Janetta Hull, has been telling anyone who'll listen that Tiffany and her boyfriend haven't paid a dime in rent since August, and she's finally had enough.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
According to Hull, Tiffany and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, owe over $5,000 in back rent. And it gets even crazier. They've reportedly changed the locks on the house, preventing the landlord from getting in. It's like something out of a bad movie, right? Hull claims she's been trying to serve eviction papers, but Tiffany and Kamal have been evading them at every turn. The entire situation is a mess, only adding more fuel to Tiffany's already growing list of troubles. But here's where it takes an even wilder turn. Tiffany isn't just facing eviction, she's also under federal investigation. That's right, the FBI is reportedly probing her spending, both as the mayor of Dalton and as the supervisor of Thornton Township. There are allegations that she's been using village funds for personal expenses, like lavish travel and fancy dinners. And we can't forget the infamous $433,000 she allegedly spent on Amazon in a single day. Yes, $433,000 on Amazon. What on earth could she have been buying?
We talked to Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
It all boils down to power and money. This escalating scandal has ignited a movement to remove Tiffany from office. Many residents are fed up with her leadership, with some even dubbing her the worst mayor in America. Ouch, that's gotta sting. But despite all the drama, Tiffany is holding her ground. In fact, she's already announced her intention to run for re-election. Can you believe it? With eviction looming, a federal investigation hanging over her head, and a financial crisis unfolding in the village, she's still determined to fight for another term. And that's Tiffany for you, a fighter. Whether you love her or hate her, one thing's clear. She's not backing down without a battle. Even as critics relentlessly call her out on everything from her spending habits to her handling of village meetings, Tiffany stays defiant. She's vowed to expose the corruption she believes is rampant in Dalton, and has even promised to press charges against her political adversaries. Whether or not she has solid proof to support these claims remains to be seen. But one thing's for certain, Dalton is in for a turbulent ride in the months ahead. This is a power struggle, a battle for control and money. So, what's next for Tiffany? Will she manage to keep her grip on the mayor's office, or will the mounting pressure from her critics finally take her down? And what about that $619? Will she ever recover it from Tammy Brown? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this story is far from finished. In the meantime, what do you think? Is Tiffany just trying to do her job and facing unfair criticism, or is there something more suspicious happening behind the scenes? And seriously, what's the deal with that 619? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates on the wild world of Dalton politics.